Where was your favorite place to go for vacation when you were a kid? When I was a kid, there were two places that I loved to go for vacation. And if you're from the Philadelphia area, you know what those two places are because everybody went to either the shore, which is great if you want the beach and the sun and hot weather and that whole boardwalk experience, or you would go to the Poconos. Now, my Aunt Terry and Uncle Frank had a mountain house in the Poconos. It wasn't one of those like log cabin type places. It also wasn't one of those McMansion, those $1 million homes, but it was the very best mountain cabin that you could possibly go to. And we would just have these great times together with my cousins in this mountain house once or twice a year. Most of the time it was in the winter time and we were going to go skiing and snowboarding and all that kind of stuff. But the point is, as much as I loved going to the beach, because I love the hot weather and I love to surf and I love to just be in the water, there was also this part of me that was very connected to the Poconos and going to the mountains. And I have a very specific, fond memory of my father from that time. When we would go, we would often be there for something between maybe 3 to 5 days. And usually 2 of those days, whether it was the summertime or the wintertime, I would see my dad outside chopping wood 2 days of the time that we'd be spending there. And I remember one of those days coming out of the door and going up to him and asking him why does he always chop wood when we come there? I just thought it was kind of odd. He invited me over to chop wood with him. He would give me like sticks and smaller stuff to cut, and then eventually a few years later, I was actually splitting wood with him using the axe. What he said to me that day when I was about 14 years old was, "Kevin, when you're a guest somewhere, you always leave it better than you found it. So if you're invited to stay somewhere, make sure you leave that property better than you found it. Do something nice as a thank you give back for the people who invited you to be there." And that has always been something that has stuck with me kind of throughout life, is focusing on how can I do something to give back to people who are giving to me and just generally do the right thing. And that's why today's A Day in the Life of a Small Business Owner is all about how can we as business owners give back to the world and the communities that are around us. So let's get it going. I want to start by giving kudos to companies that are doing it. There are companies that are already doing phenomenal things and giving back to the communities in the world. Here's a few that I want to bring up for you. The first one being Tom's Shoes. These are marketed as unisex shoes. I've yet to see a guy wearing them. I wouldn't judge it if you were wearing them. I've got size 13 foot. I'm not putting on Tom's Shoes. That's going to look like the biggest ballet slipper you've ever seen in your life. But what Tom's Shoes does, the very core of their mission, is for every pair of shoes that are bought, they donate a pair of shoes to someone in need. Another company called Uncommon Goods, they're another online clothing and kind of general store. They are what is called a B Corporation, and what they do is, when you create an account with them and are buying from them, they allow you to choose a 501c3 to donate money to on your behalf based on your spending habits with them. Another one called Everlane. Everlane, they strive to work with ethical factories and also factories that care about the environment. So you might be going to them and paying a little bit more for a pair of jeans, but the thing that you can know is that the people making those jeans are not in a sweatshop. They're being paid what they deserve. And that's important. And then the last one I want to highlight is Etsy. Etsy isn't so much about people as it is the environment. Etsy has this massive focus with their corporate headquarters. Their goal is to have zero waste, find renewable energy, and also practice water conservation. Those are three, think about it as a company, a large company like Etsy. Zero waste. Now, while looking for companies that do good in the world, I came across this company called Dorsal. I first heard about them through an Instagram advertisement. They were actually advertising their bracelets, which if you come to dorsalbracelets.com, you can see it. But they are a jewelry and apparel company, and they have a very simple mission, and that is to give back to the environment through helping to remove trash
and helping to reestablish the coral reef. Now, this business model isn't completely unique, as there are other companies called 4Ocean and things of that nature that are doing this exact same thing. But I kind of fell in love with this brand in and of itself. I went ahead and purchased the Francisco, which is a black bracelet, which you can see in the video now, with an anchor on it. It's only $16. And when you purchase one, they are going to directly take the money from that purchase to remove trash, replant coral fragments, and otherwise donate money. And if you take a look up to August 21st, 2020, they have 88,831 pounds of trash removed, 515 coral fragments planted, and $1,600 donated to ocean conservation.
So here's the thing. Let's take what I said in the beginning and let's connect it to what I'm now saying here in the end. I believe, and I run on the concept that we are all guests in this world. Here's a fact. You were born and you will eventually die, meaning you are not a permanent fixture on this planet. And if you're not a permanent fixture on this planet, then that means you're a guest here. So what do we do as small business owners? How can we do something to make the world a better place? And what I want to do is encourage you to focus on what you want your legacy to be. Do you just want to be another company that made it? Do you want to be another company that has done something where they have amassed a large fortune? That's great if you want to do that. I want my legacy to be I was able to amass a fortune but give a ton of it away. I do a few things, but I also want to do more. Let me just go through a couple of these really fast with you. One of the things I do every year is pick a 501c3, a nonprofit or not-for-profit company. I look at their website and their marketing, and I do a new website for them completely free. And I make it like I would make any other website. I really want it to be a high caliber, beautiful website to give them their best foot forward. Another thing I'm working on being is completely paper free. I am down to one more notepad and one box of paper. I have my printer over here, which you can't see, it's out of sight right now. But I want to move this out of my office, allow it to be here for the rest of my family, but I want to do everything digital for my marketing company. I want to be as paperless as humanly possible. But the last thing that I want to do, I really want to do this. And if you're interested in this, I want you to message me. I'm going to put an email address in the description below. I want to radically change somebody's life. I'm only at 137 subscribers right now, which to all 137 of you, I'm so thankful for you. Thank you so much for subscribing. But eventually, when I can get to that 1,000 mark and I can start to generate ad money and hopefully eventually one day start to get sponsors for my channel, I want to take a large portion of that money and radically change people's lives. I want to find small business owners with great ideas, and instead of me saying, hey, I want to be an investor in your company, I want to turn to them and say, here's what you need to do, here's how much money it's going to take for you to do it, and I'm going to help you achieve your dream. Here's all the money, go. I would love to do that. I would love to find somebody who is on the street and they need food and clothes and the ability to look presentable, to get themselves to even have the opportunity for a job interview. And I want to give them everything they need to get there. I want to radically change people's lives on the personal level. So those are the areas where I'm going to be doing everything I can to give back. But I want you to comment below. I want you to tell me what you would love to do. What would it be, you as a business owner, or even if you're just starting a business, what would it be that you want to do to give back to this world, to make this world better than it was before you got here? What are you going to do? That's it, guys. Hey, small business owners, be small, think big, and guys, let's do everything we can every day to take care of this world and the people in it. I wish y'all the best. Take care, everybody.